Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Amish Rebel Podcast, brought to you by the Amish Media Group. We're super excited to have Lovina as a guest. The conversation should be very interesting because we're going to get a live update on her cookbook, which will be released at the time of the releasing of this podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much, Lovina, for coming on
You're
and
very
having this
welcome.
conversation. It's been way too long since you've been on. I know the audience is just waiting to hear from you. It's very, very clear to me that in reading a lot of the comments on the podcast page that the audience very, very much loves you and they want you to be on more often. So
thank you. I'm sorry to say I never get to those comments.
Yeah.
I rarely get to my own, which you guys can tell because about the only place or time I ever get to respond to comments is when I'm actually posting my videos. So other than that, I'm usually making videos, which means I don't get much time to go into comment sections.
Yeah, so let's dive right into that. Like, what is your schedule like? I think most people see the amount of work that you put into the videos, but like, how often are you recording videos and making stuff?
It depends. The last while I've been recording more daily than usual because the cookbook is launching. I'm trying to make more in-depth content instead of just like today we're making this. I'm taking more of an experience into the historical context of it all because to me that's more interesting, and it seems like if you look at my analytics, it's more interesting to you guys as well. So I've been doing that, which takes a lot more time. So I'm recording a lot more because it takes longer to record a video. So the last while I've been recording more daily. Now, usually if I'm just making one-off content, I would record 2 or 3 videos in a day and then I could edit and work on other stuff on the other days. Since the cookbook is now published and I don't have to work on designing it anymore, I have more time to work on videos and it is a lot more fun. So I'm trying to make more interesting, high quality videos, just basically spend more time, say quality over quantity, versus before I was doing quantity over quality because I had to have time to work on designing this cookbook because that design is my own.
Yeah, let's talk about the cookbook because I think in most people's view, if they're not involved or they don't see the behind the scenes, like how much time did you put into the cookbook yourself? Did you write every word of it? Did you hire some of it out? Walk us through that.
Okay, I started in January of this year. I officially started laying it out. I knew what I wanted it to look like, or I had an idea.
Yeah.
But it's like any big project, you have to figure out where you're gonna start.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I knew I couldn't start on the cover because I didn't know what I wanted the cover to look like yet.
Okay.
I figured I'd have to do most of the inside first before I do the cover. So my very first step was to figure out how many groups I'm gonna have, like say a soup, like we have soups, breads and rolls, pies and desserts, like pies and puddings. I had to figure out my groups. So I made all my groups. I looked through several cookbooks to figure out kind of how many groups I want, what I want to call them. Made all my groups, and then I went through my cookbook, my digital cookbook. I printed out the index, and I went through all the recipes and put them all into groups.
Oh, okay.
Like I put them all into their respective groups, and then I had to, when I was designing the cookbook, I had to design each page, put the recipes in based on their group, because each group is like all the pages follow each other, and then another group starts. So I had to do it group by group. I couldn't do like soup on one page and dessert on the next. I had to do all the soups and then all the desserts. So I had to I had a highlighter marker. I would mark out one group in pink, so I know that it all belongs in that group. And then once I was done, I would go and mark it all out in over the pink with blue, so I wouldn't get it confused. So I missed some recipes to put them in groups, so I had to of course go back redo it. And then once I had all the recipes out, I had to make sure I had room for pictures, and then I had to make the stuff and take the pictures because I had a lot of pictures, but somewhere along the way, I either lost my SD card or it got completely wiped because I could not, for the life of me, find those pictures. So I had to retake them all, which I still, to this day, if I could find that SD card, I would be so tickled. I don't know what I would do as the pictures, but there's a lot of pictures on that. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Yeah. But I don't know where it is. I don't know if I'll ever find it. If I do, it'll be a miracle. Brings me back to about a year ago when I was helping you with podcast production and everything. We had a little micro SD card, and I lost it.
I remember that, yeah.
So I lost it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I just reordered another one on Amazon, and like I looked everywhere for it. I could never find it. I completely forgot about it. And this fall, like 3 weeks ago, I was cleaning out my car's glove compartment. I never do anything with my car's glove compartment. Like the stuff that's in there is like the manual, some napkins maybe, nothing. Like I don't use the stuff in there. I was going through there and I found that little micro SD card. I have no clue how it got in there, but it still works. It had all the content still on it. So maybe something like that will happen with the SD card that I think I lost.
And we have a lot of the original or the beginning of recording of the podcast. In fact, that's something that I wanted to bring up because we did our very first podcast together, and that podcast sat at around 1,000 views for a long time. And here we are, almost 2 years later, and that podcast is over 100,000 views. So thank you so much for viewing that podcast. And I know it's largely or majority of it is because of you, and the content that you brought on that podcast, and it's the first one you ever did before
thank you. Yeah,
before you started cooking. So
it's about 8 months before I went viral.
Yeah,
that we posted that, and there's one thing in that video that is still in every single one of my videos today.
What's that? Color?
I'm wearing green.
Yeah, and she's got her hair down. For those of you that want to see her without her with her hair down.
I have a green blazer on. I actually, before I went viral with Amish content, I used to create other content, like other cooking, non-Amish cooking content, just basic like in my life. You can still find it on TikTok if you look in the right place. I know a lot of people have found it. I know not even a quarter of you guys have found it, but a lot of you guys have found it and followed me on that page. I'm sure if you search Lovina or whatever on TikTok, you will be able to find it. I used to share more of my life. And so brands would like, just small brands that didn't want to pay content creators. I didn't have a lot of followers. Didn't want to pay content creators would like send me free stuff for a review. And I'd be like, perfect, I'll take it. And so this one brand had blazers on Amazon, women's blazers on Amazon that they wanted a review on. And they're like, would you want to pick one and do a review? I was like, absolutely. And I picked the green one. They sent it to me and I still have it. It's still hanging in my closet. I still love it. I just never wear it anymore. I wore it to that interview and it's comfortable. I like it. I mean, if you need a blazer, that's a good one.
So what's up with the green, since you touched on that a little bit? Like what attracted you the color green, and has it always been your favorite color?
No, it has not always been my favorite color. When I was in school, I think I was probably up until the 8th grade. Okay. I would say. In 8th grade, it kind of started switching. I loved light blue, like just sky blue. Okay. But I saw it everywhere. That's everybody's favorite color, or was in my school, which was only like 20-something kids. But everybody liked that color. And I was like, gosh, that's so basic. Everybody likes that color. It's everywhere. It's starting to look ugly. And Amish use china dishes a lot. Like they have these beautiful glass china. Everybody, like parents usually give their kids a set of it, and it has little flowers on it. And I like the one, I was like, mom had a bowl with light blue flowers and a bowl with green flowers. And I was looking at them and I was like, the green ones are like nicer than the light blue ones. And that was in the 8th grade. And I started like thinking about it and I was like, I don't think I like light blue that much anymore. And then, I don't know if this is like TMI, whatever. I have grown out of this phase. But there was this one boy in my grade who loved red. Red was his favorite color. So I decided red is also going to be my favorite color because I had a crush on him. But that lasted about 2 months because I couldn't like get myself to like fully believe that red is my favorite color. I like red, but it's not my favorite color. So I was like, green is so nice. And I got like green, clear crystal dishes like people would give it to me here and there because among the Amish, beautiful dishes are a treasure. Like every Amish person knows how treasured a beautiful dish is. China with some flowers on it or colored crystal, anything like that. They collect that stuff. And I still do to this day. I think it's just because I grew up like that. But that's how I got into the green space.
Okay.
I started liking green more. And I never really thought about it. My room at home, whenever, like, you know how Amish have like the girls have their rooms and they're all fancy and they're color themed and stuff. So I had mine green because I had kind of like, you know how they put the dishes, the colored like Sunday glasses and stuff out on the dresser to make it look pretty. So mine was green. And then I left the Amish. I had this green dress. I made this green dress when I was 14. I wore it until I was 18 when I left the Amish. And I had it on the evening I left the Amish because I was like, I like this dress. It's very comfortable. I like the color of it. So this is what I wore to leave the Amish.
Wow.
And I don't know, green was just my favorite color. And then I started making videos. And of course, I had this green dress on when I went viral. And I was like, wow, that's awesome that I brought my dress along. When I left the Amish, I brought the dress along. That was my favorite color. Because I had another dress at home that was nicer. It was a Sunday dress. It was nicer. I had also made it myself. And it's teal. I still want that dress. And Katie, your sister Katie, gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
She gave me the fabric to make that dress. I made the dress myself. And the last time I was home to visit, my siblings asked my dad if I can take it along. And he said, not unless I come back to stay. And I'm still like, I think at some point I'm going to just sneak into their house and take it because that's my dress.
Maybe I can get it next time I'm back.
But anyways, green is still my favorite. I wouldn't mind having other colors, and I will probably someday make myself other colored dresses, but I like green for now. I'm actually working on making myself another green one. So.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So did you make most of your own clothes when you were as you got older?
Yeah, I started sewing when I was 9.
Okay.
And I made mostly like I would work on like the cloth diapers that they have. That was a really easy one. Cloth diapers, handkerchiefs because they use a lot of handkerchiefs. Like little dresses for the girls because those are very simple. Yeah. Shirts are easy for the guys, like those shirts.
Yeah.
The dresses like these dresses, My
sister Katie made this.
These dresses are more complicated. The most complicated thing that they make is coats. They're coats. Okay, Then under that is probably those jackets, the vest that you have on, and then they have the men's pants, which aren't that easy. And then you get to this dress. This dress I'd say is intermediate. It's not that hard. But it's definitely harder than like a diaper or a handkerchief or something like that. So I didn't start making these types of dresses until I was 14.
Oh, okay.
That's when I started making those. So one thing that I forgot that is also pretty complicated is these things.
The caps.
But because they're smaller, it doesn't take as long. Mom taught me how to do it in one cap. Like she had one cap. She made me do it, taught me, and I still know how to this day. It's something I don't think you ever really unlearn once you learn it.
So the difference between a cap and a bonnet.
Oh, the bonnets are like round. It's what they wear to go places, to get in a buggy and get in vehicles and go places. The women can't go to the neighbors without their bonnets. These are the caps, and then they have to wear bonnets over the caps. And if it's cold, they wear a scarf. They wear a scarf over the cap and then a bonnet over the scarf.
Gotcha.
To stay warm. And their winter bonnets are thicker and not as stiff as the summer. The summer bonnets are made with white plastic crafting netting. I'm not sure. There's a name for it. You can buy it at Walmart. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's pretty popular among...
It's almost like a screen, but
it's like a plastic white screen. I'm sure you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. And it bends just enough that they can make like a round, and then they put wire around it to shape it. They put like 7-pound wire or number 7 wire.
That's crazy.
Around it to like keep it shaped right, and then they cover it in fabric and everything and put strings on it. Those are their summer bonnets. They're very airy, don't really make you warm or anything. And then during the winter they have more. They're still a little stiff. They hold their shape really well, but they're more floppy. They don't have the wire and stuff in it. Those are not called. Okay, the summer bonnets are actually called bonnets. The winter bonnets are called over caps.
Yeah.
Basically a cap that you put over this cap, but you always put a scarf on first before you put the over cap on.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit more about your book.
Okay.
So you said that you wrote everything in your book.
Yes, I did.
That's put in there.
Mm-hmm.
You designed it all.
I did.
You found a printer.
My husband.
Well,
the design is where I drew the line. My husband did everything else.
Credit to Eli. Okay.
Yeah, he has credit in the copyright and the introduction. If you read the introduction,
awesome.
I thank him in there. And in the introduction, I also have like a thank you to my parents or my mom for teaching me to cook and stuff. But the copyright, Eli had to be in the copyright because he took a lot of the pictures in the book. But yes, I did the design, everything. I asked his opinion on some of it, but mostly I just did it, and then he looked at it, and he went through it with me after it was all designed to try and find mistakes. He did that, and we found mistakes. But we tried fixing them. If you find any...
Hey,
we're
it's
humans.
Just part of it. If you
I tried doing like a proofreading, and in like there's for authors, there's this Grammarly program where you put stuff in, but it won't take anything with pictures, and this thing had pictures in it. So I should have probably done it before I added the pictures, but
you can give it to my wife. She'll proofread the whole thing.
I think if I would have wrong a lot, would be the word everything. I have such a habit when I'm typing on my keyboard to hit the H before the T when I'm typing everything, and I hit the H before the T, so it's everything instead of everything.
Well, hey, if somebody is bored and they're needing something to do, maybe they can proofread it and point out everything that needs to be corrected.
A little shout out, thank you to several of my followers who are professional proofreaders who have gone through the digital one. The digital one has so many mistakes, so many. It's almost embarrassing. Who have gone through that and send me a list of everything they found wrong. I use that list to make sure everything is right or to make sure all that stuff is right when I did this. Also, the digital one now that you're watching the video, when we're recording this, it isn't updated yet, but by the time you're watching this, it'll be updated. I will have the digital PDF will look exactly like this, like the printed version. Because right now, while we're recording this, the digital version is just black and white with no pictures, as you can tell.
Yeah,
so
that's great. And I just want to say to the audience, like, I have watched you go through from the time you started doing videos with me to going viral with your own channel, and then the amount of work that you've put in to get to this place where you actually have a physical copy of the book. it's absolutely insane. And so for those of you that think that like this just all happened overnight and it was effortless, it may look that way from an online perspective, but there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes, and you've put hours and hours and hours of your time and stayed committed and dedicated to the book.
Well, I had to. I promised people stuff.
Well, you didn't. This is a choice, right? Because people choose.
Well,
to
I chose
out,
to
opt out
to make promises, and I always do my best to fulfill promises. I still have one promise that is bugging me, and it seems like I'm helpless to fulfill it right now because I don't have the resources to get what I need to fulfill it. If I would have thought a little further this spring, I would have. Okay, I'm kicking myself in the butt right now, but I will. I made you guys a promise on this podcast in March. If you go back and watch an episode from back then, I made you guys a promise, and I'm hoping nobody is keeping track because I'm way off the time limit with that one, but I'm still going to keep it once I get my hands on the right materials to do what I need to do. But as far as dedicated, we had in March when we did that episode, we also said, I think it was that episode, we said that it would be out. I said it would be out by August or late summer.
That was the goal, right?
Yes.
You didn't say that it would
my first wish was to have it out by the end of March. But we were moving. Things were in an uproar, and I knew that was never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not even smart. Okay, January already I just went viral and started cooking in August of 2024, so a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And in January already, people were begging me for a paper copy. And I was like, well, I have to redesign the whole thing. This is going to take a while. But I was like, okay, if I could get it done by March. And I was like, no, that's 2 months. I'm never getting that done. And then I was like, let me do August. August seems attainable. But then we were traveling for weddings, for business. We were all over the place all summer until July. And then my little niece was born in July, and I had helped them for a week. August was not happening either. So I was like, okay, it has to be done before Thanksgiving because I promised you guys you would have it for the holidays. It has to be done before Thanksgiving. And then I put my foot down, and I worked on it every spare second I had. I was sitting in my little office room typing away at 10:30 at night, all tensed up trying to get this thing done. But it got done.
And I can definitely testify to that because usually we get to hang out a decent amount and we get to didn't. Do episodes together and stuff like that, and that just hadn't happened much this summer because, like you mentioned earlier, we both moved at the same time. We both had to basically start over and rebuilding everything that we had before, and so it's just taken up a lot of time. But hopefully this coming year will be really good. We get to.
I don't know. I don't think I'm a workaholic. More like I can't stand the idea of not having something to work towards.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because this is published, and I've had. Oh, wow. Well, make yourself known.
I was going to ask you to show some pages here in a little bit anyway, so that's good timing.
But since this has been published or put out to print, my husband is taking care of all the print side of things. So I've had more time to do other things. I've cleaned up around the house because I've had more time to do other things. That's also why some of my videos are more interesting because I'm a lot more free to do other things now. But I might be getting myself into something else before the end of this year yet because I'm walking I'm walking around telling everybody that I am working on volume 2 to put it out in digital form before the end of the year. That seems almost unattainable knowing the end of the year is about 6 weeks away. But I mean, hey, in 2 weeks' time, I can get a lot done. So I'm working on volume 2. Hopefully to put that out before the end of the year, but it would only be digital again because I'll have it digital until I have the time and the pictures and all the recipes to get it out, to get it published, and then we'd have volume 2. And then there's a couple other things we're also working on. There are also books. Some of them include my diaries that I kept for 3 years when I was Amish.
People are gonna love that.
When I was a teenager, we were trying to put those out, but I was very Amish. I used a lot of Amish words, so that's going to take a lot of editing on my part to get that done because no editor will be able to figure out what I'm talking about if I just put it in. So
where can they find the book? Obviously, a lot of people already know where to find it, but it just for those of you that are new here and you want a copy of her cookbook, it is a cookbook. So it's full of recipes. For those new listeners, it has pictures in it. It has stories.
There's my viral grape chili recipe.
Where can they find it? Where should they go to buy the book?
So far, it is only on my website.
Okay.
If you go to...
What's your website?
If you go to socials by Lovina, Lovina is LOVINA.com, it is linked on there. The actual website with the book is linked on there, but if you want to go straight to our website, like our e-commerce store, because Socials by Lovina is where all my links are. That is where you will find my digital cookbooks, all of my other stuff. If you want to go straight to the e-commerce website where this is on, it is lovinasKitchenCo.com. Lovinas is again LOBINAS, kitchenco.com. is where this will be on. And it is spiral bound. So far, it's only available on that website.
Okay.
But yesterday, we had someone, a bookstore, email and say they have people who want them to stock the book in their bookstore. And they were like, do you have it available on Ingram? Ingram Spark is a place where you can just put your PDF on there, and Ingram Spark publishes it for you and sends it to people. They would do it to Amazon, Walmart, Target, Barnes and Noble, any libraries, anything. But there's a catch. My husband is working on getting that done. There's a catch. They will not print it in spiral. So the only place you can get the spiral bound one is on my website. If you find it anywhere else, it's not available yet, but if in the future, if you find it anywhere else, it will not be spiral bound unless we specifically shipped it to them. But in the future, if you find it anywhere else, for the most part, it will not be spiral bound. So that is up to you.
All right. Anything else before we go? I know we're running short on time. So anything that you want to leave with the audience, give the audience an update on before we go?
An update? I'm not sure. I feel like I've kind of spilled all the updates in here. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I am now making long form YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen that. I'm not sure, but I'm making long form YouTube videos now of non-Amish things I've never made before, so I'm loving that. So it's very interesting.
So there's still cooking videos.
Oh, yeah.
Long form cooking videos, but there's things that
I have non-Amish things.
Stuff that not the Amish don't typically make.
No, stuff the Amish don't even know about.
Gotcha.
So, well, they might know about some that I'm going to make in the future, but so far I've only posted one video and they don't know what that is. If I would take that home and give it to them, they would, oh my gosh, they would almost melt because it's so good. It is delicious.
So you've also had a surgery done recently.
Oh, yes.
So I wanted to touch a little bit on that, if you don't mind, just to
I don't mind at all.
Give the audience an update. So tell us about the surgery and what it was about and how everything went. How's your recovery been?
It's been really good. I am trying to train for an ultra trail marathon for January, the middle of January, and the doctor told me I shouldn't have a problem. He's a lot more confident than I am because it's been almost 4 weeks. It'll be 4 weeks tomorrow that I had the surgery, and I've done one run. I've gone running once now. I ran a mile, and it's very stiff. So the recovery is pretty good. I had knee surgery to take a screw out that was loose or whatever. It was rubbing on my muscle tissue, and the reason I had a screw in there is because way back when I was a 17-year-old Amish girl, me and my mom were going to the neighbors in a horse and buggy, and the horse was not traffic safe, which means he doesn't like traffic. And we met a semi. The horse jumped into the ditch, toppled the buggy over. It landed on my leg and broke my femur bone, so they put a rod from my hip to my knee and screwed it in place in my knee. And the one screw in my knee was overperforming. It was hurting me, so they took it out. And I still get very frustrated at my knee because it's stiff still, and it seems like if I try stretching it, it just makes it throb. So it's fine. It's only been 4 weeks. I'll get there, but I don't have the most patience.
Was the surgery fairly big? Couple hours?
No, it was almost an hour.
The surgery was an hour long?
It was almost an hour, and I didn't use insurance because my insurance deductible is $4,000, and the surgery itself, they quoted me $1,600. I was like, oh boy, this is cheap. Paid it. And surprise,
cheap.
I get it. $1,600 for a surgery is cheap.
That is cheap for a surgery. I agree.
But that's not the end of it. I got an $1,800 for 45 minutes of anesthesia. A bill the other day.
Wow. So the surgery was
surgery was cheap. The surgery was cheaper than anesthesia. Like, just do it while I'm awake. I don't know.
If you take the hammer and knock you out. And then
I don't know. I was so shocked.
So I was in the room. Do you mind if I expand a little bit? So I was in the room when this, not when the surgery actually took place, but before and then after. And so she was, she was asleep and trying to wake up, I guess. I mean, we're over there praying, hoping that she wakes up because she's like making all kinds of sounds. And apparently you were listening to what your husband and I were talking about. But you couldn't.
But it was muffled. I couldn't. My mind was not cooperating. Like, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah. And I had never been in the room when somebody took anesthesia. But, I mean, you know, again, praying everything goes well and you wake back up the way you're supposed to. But the nurse kept asking these questions. I don't know if we even told you, but she kept asking these questions like, so is she allergic? Is she ever had any issues? And I'm starting to think, oh my goodness, is she like not gonna wake up? Like,
well, I don't know what it is with my body. I never take drugs. My body doesn't respond well to drugs, like pain medications, anything. And when I did the surgery when I was 17, when they did the surgery to put the hardware in, that was a long surgery. I think it was like 3 hours. They knocked me out around 9 in the morning, and I didn't wake up until 3 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And they said people don't usually sleep that long. They usually wake up earlier.
Okay.
And so I kind of took note of that. And then when we went into surgery, I was like, how soon should I wake up after anesthesia? And they were like, oh, you should wake up 10 to 15 minutes after the surgery's done. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't wake up for an hour after the surgery. It was almost an hour and a half by the time I was awake. Yeah. It's like, I think my body's just more knocked out.
Well, apparently, because you were moving, I'd say about a half an hour after surgery, you started moving. And you started like really, I mean, there's all kinds of emotions you went through. But
okay, the nurse told me before I went in, she was like, it's usually pretty common for young adults to cry when they're coming out of anesthesia. And I was like,
you were definitely crying.
I'm not that traumatized. I was having a nightmare of some kind. I don't know. It was painful, but
a little scary.
It was not even a quarter or an eighth as bad as it was when I broke it. So it's like a little.
So you're well on the way to recovery.
Oh,
and maybe we can do a podcast. I don't know if we'll get it done before, but maybe we can do one after your marathon. Or your ultra and let everybody know.
Well, he's doing the ultra with me, so after our ultra.
That should be fun.
I had to go get myself new trail shoes. I am not exactly looking forward to
Oh, this will be great.
I'm gonna try and make it as good as possible because
This will be
with
great.
the knee surgery, I haven't been able to. I was used before I did surgery. I was used to doing 5 or 6 miles a day for like just exercise, and now I can't even. The other day I did 3 miles, and my leg was so mad at me for it. And I was like, I feel so handicapped.
Well, you're only 4 weeks in, so it's probably take it a little easier.
But I only have 8 more weeks before the marathon. That's
You'll be fine.
yeah, I will. Last year I did it with no training at Camp Eagle. It was Camp Eagle in Texas, and the trails are horrendous. And I did it with no training, and I didn't die. So, Bandera should be fun.
Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I think that's going to do it for today's episode. And thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So grateful that we got to do this today. And we're looking forward to seeing the book out there and all the different people talking about it. So thank you for the support.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate you guys supporting this podcast. And remember to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content and also future guests coming up. Leave your comments, your thoughts for Lovina. Share your love. And remember to be intentional. And we'll see you in the next video.